Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Bundesliga show brought to you by Over the Bar. Back for some Match Week 32 predictions. So looking forward to getting stuck into this. As you can well see, I'm on my lonesome this evening. Mark's had to pull out last minute. Unfortunately, Peter wasn't able to join either. Yep, it's just me. Predictions. Make sure you sit back and enjoy. Make sure you get involved and share your thoughts and feelings so we can have a good show. So you just don't have to listen to me mumbling on and definitely get your opinions in. Of course, before we do so, first thing, just a bit of admin as per. Make sure you leave a thumbs up on the show this evening. That'd be fantastic. As I mentioned, comment along. That'd be great. Let's have a really good discussion about the matches coming this weekend. And of course, subscribe to the channel. Obviously we'll get into it in a second. One thing to celebrate, as you can see, I've got my VFB number on. Of course, of the news last night, as a result of the Dortmund win against PSG, has confirmed that the Bundesliga will have 5 representatives in the Champions League next season, including VfB Stuttgart. So celebrations all around. Amazing achievement for Stuttgart. I'm sure we can talk about that more in the future, but just really wanted to acknowledge that. Obviously, great news for Dortmund and Leipzig, and it takes the pressure off. Really, the top 4 race for the rest of the season. So, huge relief for everyone. So, congrats to everyone involved. Great win for Dortmund last night. Maybe it could have been more. Good performance by Bayern as well. Again, stuff we can talk about later on as well. But let's just get kick-started with the Friday night fixture, which is Hoffenheim hosting RB Leipzig, a team that, of course, will be, feeling no pressure anymore. A lot of pressure has been lifted off of Leipzig's shoulders because of the fact, obviously, that Dortmund have kind of done them a favour and the German side's coefficient is so good. So this game's more of a free shot for Leipzig. Of course, they'll have their own ambitions to finish the season strongly, and they'll be now kind of focusing on the summer and what their squad is now going to look like, building for that. Hoffenheim, on the other hand, I guess, are one of the teams that are in this battle for the 7th place. It seems to be that no one really wants that final spot. We do have this odd situation where if Dortmund were to win the Champions League, and based off last night, why the hell could they not? We would have potentially 6 Champions League representatives for the Bundesliga as well. At that moment, or this current moment, that would be Frankfurt, but it really opens things up as well to make things interesting for the rest of sides chasing European spots. Either way around, I think Leipzig's form has been so hot of late, obviously feeling great off the 4-1 win against Dortmund. Their form's really impressive. Hoffenheim, they're free scoring enough, losing 3-2, obviously away to Bochum last weekend. They came back into it, but we talked about it on Monday's show. Bochum's XG was almost 4 and above. They were excellent and well deserving of it. So I think with this in mind, 3-1 for Leipzig. I'm gonna lock it in as. We'll go for a comfortable outing for Leipzig, and I think they'll really strut their stuff on Friday evening. Good evening, Justin. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're doing well. And you have gone for 4-0 for Leipzig. Bauman's got an average of 4.5 saves per game. Hoffenheim's defense has been chopped and changed a lot, and they haven't had a really clear back 3 or whatever formation they have been playing. It's been chopped and changed a lot. So I suspect there'll be goals in this one for Leipzig. Moving on to Saturday afternoon, another team that will be, of course, elated at the moment is Dortmund hosting Augsburg. So there's another similar situation where we've got a team that now has no pressure from a Bundesliga sense, playing a team that is chasing a European spot still. Augsburg have been disappointed in their last few outings. Of course, the defeat to Werder was a bit of a shock at home. I didn't see that one coming by any sense. Dortmund, you'd imagine off the back of what they did last night, are just going to be so zeroed into the return leg or going across to Paris and making it through to a Champions League final, and what an amazing achievement that would be. So surely there's rotation involved. You'd imagine players rested, the likes of Royce and Mokoku might get a run out and the likes after that. So with that in mind, Augsburg need a win. Again, I'm struggling to say Dortmund won't turn up, but their Bundesliga form has been pretty dire recently, hasn't it? So I'll be brave since there's no pressure on it anyway. We'll go for a 2-1 away win for Augsburg to push them right back into the mix as they very much need it. Next game on our list is Wolfsburg taking on already relegated Darmstadt. So, of course, Darmstadt will want to leave the Bundesliga with as many points as they can, keep on taking in that experience, and their fans will no doubt try and enjoy these last 3 games. Wolfsburg have got a lot of work to do still in regards to getting out of the relegation mix. Their form has been okay, obviously since getting in Hasenhüttl. And regardless of how poor Wolfsburg have been all season and their scratchy form, the way that they've been playing, they surely have too much of Darmstadt at home. So I will go for a, maybe not a comfortable afternoon, but I'm going to go for 2-0. Jonas Wind maybe bagging a couple goals for himself. Next game, Saturday afternoon. This one does carry a lot of weight. I know Werder have obviously been pulling themselves away from relegation trouble with their recent form and their great 2 victories against Stuttgart and Augsburg, as we just mentioned. So, the team clearly in form is Werder, obviously at home for a travelling Gladbach side who were completely outplayed by Union at home only last weekend in that 0-0 draw. So they still picked up a point, but their form is really, really bad. One assumes that Gerardo Seriane is going to be looking for a new job, or Gladbach will be looking for a new head coach in the summer months. They just need a reset. They just seem to be playing with no great idea. The only one positive thing you can pick out for Gladbach this Rückrunde, this Rückrunde particularly is the form of Robin Hack. Elsewhere, it's been just so confused in regards to team selection and the way that they've been playing. So I'm really struggling with Gladbach here, and they're being drawn into it. Peter and I were talking about this, I think, on Monday's show. I don't want Gladbach to go down, but I can't see them winning this either. I'll maybe go for an entertaining 2-2 draw, but really, I probably do think that it's going to be Bremen that are pushing to win this game more so. We'll move on to the Süd Derby, a game that would have had great importance riding on it. Should obviously the coefficient stuff not had happened, Stuttgart would have been targeting this game since the 2-2 draw, obviously at the weekend. Bayern, of course, were in action. Maybe there would have been this kind of theory that Stuttgart would have been going full gun for it anyway. I suspect they still will. They'll want to finish the season as strongly as they can do. The pressure, of course, is off. It'll be a party atmosphere, I'm sure, in Stuttgart. Inside the stadium, the Cannstatter Kurve, I'm sure will be absolutely bouncing. And Bayern have every right to rotate their squad as well. You can imagine seeing that rests for Musiala and Gnabry still coming back from injury as well. So it'd be interesting to see what sort of side they put out. I presume maybe a start for Choupo-Moting may well occur as well. I presume Kane will play because he always plays and he wants the record as well, doesn't he? So tricky one to call this. Because there's no pressure on me for once in regards to Stuttgart and the end of the season now, I'm quite happy to predict slightly more positive outcome for this one. So, for Stuttgart, let's go for a famous... I don't think Stuttgart have won at home versus Bayern for a long, long time either. So it's about damn time that they did do it. Let's say a magical afternoon where they win 2-1. Why not? That would be very, very enjoyable indeed. So let's just scroll down and see the rest of the games on offer this weekend. Evening, Ballon. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks very much for your comment. Yes, I'm very happy about Stuttgart being in the top 4. Absolutely thrilled. Or top 5 now, obviously, that they're all confirmed. So that's great news. Thank you for tuning in and sharing your thoughts. Justin just saying, not a huge fan of Bayern. Hopefully Stuttgart win, going for a 3-2 VfB win. Yeah, that would be very nice indeed. Right, so the top spiel on Friday is FC Köln taking on Sport Club Freiburg. Two teams very much, at different ends of the table. Both teams more similar in the vein of form that they're in. I mean, Freiburg, of course, are better off and they have a lot more going for them. But the Christian Streich farewell tour has really suffered. Maybe they'll feel a little bit less pressure away from home. You'd imagine, inside of Köln, it'll be a really positive atmosphere, but I guess there'll be a great deal of nervousness, be quite tense perhaps, or maybe the fact that Köln have already decided that they're down, is still going to be a really hard thing for them to turn around. They finished the game positively against Mainz, didn't they? But it's still hard to pick out them being clear favourites or anything like this. The last time they're at home, they had that embarrassing loss to Darmstadt. So, I think Freiburg probably pick up the win and it probably relegates Köln in the process. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 away win. I just think Köln had been too stretched. Their squad just hasn't got the quality. The goals aren't there. And it's just been too much for them, inevitably. So that might well be the confirmation of the second automatic relegation team. And obviously it'd be a great sad thing for Köln to go down, such a great traditional team of the Bundesliga. And hopefully they get themselves sorted out in this fight as and when it happens. So going to Sunday, we've got a couple of very big relegation matches. If we start off with the game in Berlin, Union hosting VfL Bochum. Obviously, this is a game with great importance. Both teams are right down there in the mix right now. Bochum picking up that hugely impressive and needed win against Hoffenheim 3-2. They played out of their skin, created so many chances. Stoiger was just ridiculous, and they completely deserved it. And Union outplayed Gladbach, but Gladbach in a very different position. And the one thing that you pick out from that game is they didn't score. They're still not scoring. They barely score. I think they scored 1 or 2 goals in their last 5 games. It's just they've just struggled so much all season, and they had this really poor start, and then they kind of pushed out a little bit from the relegation places, and now they're being sucked in again. I definitely have my worries for Union now in regards to the relegation playoff spot. I think, of course, this will be a tense match. The way that Bochum are playing as of, Friday night, if they keep that level, then I don't see any way how they don't beat Union or at least get they leave Berlin undefeated. I will go for a 2-1 away victory, I think. Fancy Bochum. And I think, it will really, really put Union into a great deal of trouble. So the next game, if we're working chronologically on Sunday, at the 4:30 kickoff UK time, of course, that will be Frankfurt taking on Bayer Leverkusen. Obviously, they're playing right now. I can't profess to know the score because I forgot to put my updates on, but I saw the lineup. Quite an interesting one. No out-and-out striker. Well, Adley's playing centrally, isn't he? So Leverkusen, of course, are going for the undefeated season. That depends on what happens tonight. Pending what happens tonight, there'll obviously be rotation. Xabi Alonso has been very cute, very smart with his rotations all season. They've done a great deal of Excellent. Well, Alonso's done a great deal of excellent selections and rotations, but the players have obviously stood up along the way as well. Frankfurt have been better, though. They have been better in the last few weeks. They obviously picked up that 3-1 victory a couple of weeks ago where Etikite, Marmouche, and I forget the other one who scored, but Etikite backed it up. Last week against Bayern, that was a really good goal, so his confidence is flying. So I think this will be a good game. Frankfurt always turn up against the better sides as well, indeed. And Leverkusen are being pushed. This is obviously one of the last trickier games that they have in terms of doing the undefeated season in the Bundesliga. I mean, it's so hard to bet against Leverkusen. This season has just been extraordinary from them. They have moments in every single game. If you watched the show on Monday, you would have definitely felt or seen my frustrations in regards to the way that they did that, making the 2-2 draw against Stuttgart in the last minute. Andricht obviously being there to smash home to make it 2-2 and keep that undefeated season alive. So their motivations will be really high, no doubt. Obviously, it depends on how hard tonight is, and I'm sure it will be a hard game against Roma. But I will go for I fancy another draw, to be honest. Frankfurt might, give them a good test. I'm just going to go for 1-1, I think. There's a great chance that there will be more goals in it, but I think I'll just go for that scoreline. Leverkusen may well be quite tired after tonight's efforts. So the final game of the weekend of match week 32 will be another really big one in regards to relegation, as Heidenheim host Mainz, and depleted Mainz at that. We talked about this on Monday as well, the great deal of suspensions that Mainz now have as a result of the yellow cards and the red cards, the injury to Onisiwo, although I think he has been back training this week, so that's a positive at the very least. Yeah, Mainz just have to go there and win. They need to push themselves out. If they do, if they do win, then based on other results, they'll push out of the relegation playoff spot again. Heidenheim did what they needed to against Darmstadt. They were the most effective team. They got the goal in the last minute. They've been such a breath of fresh air all season long. Most of their games involve a great deal of goals. Going forward, they've been really, really excellent, but they do obviously give you a chance at the back as well. If Mainz play like they did for the first 50, 60 minutes against Köln at the weekend, then there's every chance that Mainz will grab the win. Obviously, you're just worried about suspensions and who will be able to start for Mainz. That might disrupt the team's balance. But Bo Henriksen has done a really good job. Since he's come in. He's just got to keep on pushing Mainz, and they're not far off from making another great escape. So I do fancy them. I do think it will be close because Heidenheim will just go there with going to the game with great energy, and they'll just go for it. So I can imagine Heidenheim will threaten and therefore leave chances at the back. I will go for a 2-1 away win for Mainz. So there we have it. That's all the predictions for match week 32 from yours truly. We'll just scroll across to the table, particularly let's have a quick look at the European spots as to what it would look like if what I have said would come to pass. We would have Freiburg still in seventh place, holding off Augsburg on 42, Hoffenheim and Werder, slightly further back, with Heidenheim also just drawing away a little bit there. Then in regards to relegation, if I am spot on, Union would drop into the bottom three, into that relegation playoff spot, the Berlin side. That would not be good news for them. I just worry about their goal-scoring ability. Mainz would jump out by a point, and then you got Bochum and Gladbach a little bit further up. But as you can tell, it's just one win, basically. It's really, really close. So, we may not have top 4, top 5 title races to chase and predict, but we've got relegation. We've still got European spots up for grabs. So it's definitely really exciting to still watch all this weekend, which I'm sure everyone will be doing. But that's it from me. So I'll just quickly say thank you to everyone that's watched this evening and live. It's been great fun. Thank you to those that have got involved, Justin and Balin. Thank you for helping me out on my own. Always interesting to do these sort of shows on your own, but as it's a prediction show, it's not too hard to get through. But do make sure to leave a thumbs up on the video if you can do. That'll be really appreciated. If you've missed the show whilst it's been live, make sure you comment, leave your thoughts and feelings about what's going to happen, and make sure you hit that subscribe button and don't miss out on all the rest of the content. We've got more vlogs coming up. Make sure you check all the other ones that have already happened. We'll probably try and do a couple watch-alongs. I know we haven't done many this Rook Ronda particularly. We might try and do maybe one or both of the European games next week, depending on availability. So yeah, loads going on. Also, if you don't already, make sure you jump onto X or Twitter, follow Over the Bar FB and Village Footy 20. That's me. And yeah, that's it. Thank you to everyone for watching, and we'll catch you tomorrow morning. Fantasy football as usual, 8:30 UK AM. So yeah, get your questions ready for fantasy football. Big finish to the fantasy football season. There's lots up for grabs in that as well. So thanks all, and I'll catch you in the next one.